Alright, so recently we just shot a wedding almost a month ago exactly. April 8th was the day we shot the wedding, which if you haven't watched that and if you're not subscribed or been following the channel, whatever, go handle your business. We shot a wedding recently. We just dropped the wedding a couple days ago on here, and we used the A7C and the DJI mics for the very first time on an important project. Today's video is going to be kind of short, somewhat like the last one we did when we shot the last wedding. I'm just going to go through and break down how I feel like the wedding went and my opinion on using the mics for the first time on a big major project. Let's hop right into it. We're not wasting any time. I'm not even supposed to be shooting today. Today's kind of like my off day. Today's Saturday. I normally just chill. Before I discuss and get my opinion specifically on the DJI mics, this wedding did not go anything how I planned it to go. I got to the wedding the day before to kind of get an idea of the area, of the landscape, and what I was gonna do, and kind of go ahead and have a vision. But like I said, nothing went as planned for a multiple number of reasons that was out of my control, out of a lot of people's control. The weather was, it was bad. It was bad. I mean, I gotta be real. The weather was bad. It was raining that day, on and off, and it was around 60 degrees. As the day went on, it got colder and colder. So as far as the video and how it came out, it didn't come out how I planned it to be at all. I didn't really see it as a bad thing, because one thing this wedding taught me was how to be adaptive in a situation where you don't have control over anything besides, you know, showing up and getting what you can. And there were a couple of other things that happened at the wedding on the wedding day that were out of my control, but I'm not gonna speak on too much. We're not here to talk about all this and that. We're here to break down the wedding and what did happen, not what, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really know that these were gonna be the key to the wedding, because my last wedding, if you all watched that, if you haven't watched that, go watch it. My last wedding, we didn't have these at all. And this wedding, we had these. These were the key to the video. If I didn't have these, if I didn't mic up the pastor, I don't know what I would have done, because the pastor literally narrated and navigated the entire wedding video. If I didn't have his audio, if I didn't have him mic'd up, I don't know what I would have done. Speaking specifically on the audio of the day when we were shooting, the audio was actually really, really good. It was very windy, it was raining, there was a lot of commotion going on throughout the entire wedding. I mean, wind was blowing, knocking over decorations. We had to have people pick it up. We had to have folks hold the decoration as the ceremony was going on. It was a lot going on. And I was like kind of concerned and questioning, like, are we gonna hear them? Are we not gonna hear them? And what we're gonna hear and this and that. If you go and watch the video, the audio is better than I expected. I mean, we used some lavalier mics, so we didn't just use these and clamp it on them. We actually had some mics plugged in. We were only able to hear him and who was around him, the bride and the groom. And I was kind of concerned and worried about the rain picking up and the wind picking up and the wedding party, the wedding guests getting picked up in the audio, because it's my first time using the lavalier mics with the DJI mic. So I didn't really know how to adjust the audio. I just kind of like had to practice it the day before and the day of to kind of get an idea of it. My hat keeps slipping. I think it's too loose. Let me fix this really quick. The DJI mics are very good mics for a wedding. I am not exaggerating. When I pulled the mics out, the pastor was like, "That's a mic? You're gonna mic me up with that?" All those big old clunky things that you put on the back of your pants, and we use all that cord to put in your shirt and your jacket. We're not doing that, man. We're just gonna have this. You can put it in your pocket, or we're gonna clamp it on the back of your belt and keep it pushing. I mean, we've already tested out these mics before, but this was the first major real project where we have to test them out and use them, and they have to come out good. Beforehand, it was just making a video, which you haven't seen that. And my little brother and sister tested out the DJI mic for the first time when I first got it. So if you ain't seen that, go watch that video. But this was like the first official real test. So on the wedding day, basically what I did for the gear setup, which if you haven't seen that as well, I'm just giving y'all so many videos to watch. We shot a video talking about the wedding gear I'm gonna be using for this wedding. So if you ain't seen that, you can go watch that, or it don't matter. I really don't care. Anyways, look, we were gimbaled up the entire time. On the gimbal, we had the A7C with the Rode mic on top of the A7C, because I knew I wanted to have two different audio types. I wanted to have the mic'd up DJI mic, and I wanted to have the Rode mic, which is what we're using right now in this video. We let these manually record, and then we uploaded this audio onto Premiere Pro and synced it with the actual audio from the Rode mic that was plugged into the Sony A7C. So as far as audio goes, that's how everything went. I knew that audio wasn't gonna be an issue at all. It was just more so like, is it gonna be really good or is it gonna be really bad? I didn't really know if there was gonna be an in-between, or how the in-between would play out, as far as like, oh, it's too loud, it's not loud enough, it's picking up too much, it's not picking up enough in the background. But it did really well for the first time using it. I made my adjustments afterwards. Technically, it was supposed to be an outside wedding, but it kind of got turned into an inside wedding mixed with tents and whatnot. There was no sun out either, because it was a cloudy day and it was raining and windy, like I said. So as far as lighting went, I don't want to say it wasn't in my favor because A7C does really well in low light situations, so I wasn't really like tripping over it too much. I was just like, damn, I'm gonna have like a little bit of grain. I knew I was gonna have to crank up to about 2,000 ISO, which is what I did at the highest. But I tried to keep it around 1250 to like 1,000 if I could, when I could. Yeah, other than that, I wasn't really tripping over the lighting. It was just like, I'm gonna have to be in darker spots, so I'm gonna have to crank up the ISO. And I was on a 50 mil, if you guys don't know. I was using the 50 mil the entire time. You know, the nifty 50, 1.8 aperture, so got a lot of light coming in the lens, so I wasn't tripping too much. I just didn't really want to have as much grain as I have in the video. But yeah, like I said, this wedding really taught me how to adapt and just make do with what you got, even when you had plans beforehand and those plans just completely gone out the window. I tried to follow through with the plans from the start, but it was just like, nah, this is not gonna happen. I gotta switch it up and just like come up with it on the fly. It came out good. It came out solid for what I did get, what I could make happen, so I'm happy for that. It didn't come out how I originally wanted it to, but nonetheless, it still came out good. So yeah, but that's all I want to talk about, man. I didn't really want to talk y'all heads off because like I said before, today is not the day I record on. I'm chilling today on Saturdays. I normally get all my work done during the week, but I don't know, I feel like recording. So I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it. DJI mic. Very good mics for interviews, weddings, micing up in general. Get you a lavalier mic. If you want to know how these mics work and sound while just holding the mic itself and having the dead cat on it, go watch that video I talked about somewhere. I'm getting out of here, man. Much love. Y'all be safe. And see you in the next one, man, because we got some important stuff to talk about coming up soon. But yeah, I'm out, man.